How y'all doing? Once again, it's Jody Coleman with Against the Grain Sports. We're here talking football this time. We got our midweek football fix. We're here with our, to my left, we got Gerard McCain, our NBA analyst, and to my right, we got Donald Coleman, our college basketball analyst, but we're going to be talking football today. I want y'all to follow us on Facebook. I want y'all to follow us on Twitter. Check us out, leave comments, and leave responses. We definitely want to hear y'all opinions. But we're going to go right into our question. Right now, we're talking about the Dallas Cowboys. Gerard, do you think the Dallas Cowboys are done without Tony Romo?
Finito. it's a wrap for those boys, man. Hey, just go ahead and get ready for next season.
I mean, do you think that with the NFC being so bad, you don't think they have an opportunity to still try to make the playoffs?
No.
Wow.
No. Without Tony Romo.
No. They're done. I mean,
without Tony Romo.
How do you feel about it?
They were done with Tony Romo.
Right.
Tony Romo, he's not it. Tony Romo, there's Carson Palmer, they're the same guy.
I mean, but y'all keep saying Tony Romo like it was his fault, like he's playing safety, like he's playing linebacker. I mean, like he's coaching the team. Y'all talking about Eric Spoelstra. Let's talk about Wade Phillips.
Oh yeah,
he's an absolutely horrible coach.
The Michelin Man stinks.
And it's not even it is not even just him. Jerry Jones is absolutely. He's just enabling that whole organization from the top down. They do not have a GM. I mean, we can go on for days. They have all that talent with absolutely no leadership. So, I mean, that right there, the Cowboys are finished. They'll have a high draft pick, and they'll probably trade that as well.
They're going to draft a quarterback.
Look, we're going to stick with the NFC. The NFC, oh my God, the NFC is just flat out just awful. And we're going to talk about the Minnesota Vikings, which is another train wreck. Everybody want to blame the Minnesota Vikings ailing on Brett Favre's shoulders, and rightfully so. And Brad Childress up here crying like a baby and blaming everything on him. But it's much more than that. I think that we need to go ahead and address that. What do you think the problems with the 2-4 Vikings are?
Age, Father Time, Mr. Brett. I mean, I don't know if Alzheimer's is getting to him or anything. He's just throwing the ball to the wrong team. But on the serious side, Adrian Peterson, he's not really performing up to.
But he's second in the lead in rushing.
Yeah, he's getting 32 carries too, and averaging 3 yards. 2.5, 3 yards, which he's a better back than that. Which may be okay for somebody else, but expectations of their defensive line.
Right.
All right, they only had a couple sacks by numbers, and which is supposed to be the best defensive line in football. And it's just a lot of things. Cover up with Brett and the injuries. Injuries. The other receivers out. Percy Harvin, he got something new every week.
True. Do they make the playoffs?
Yes. Yes.
After all that, they still make the playoffs.
Yes.
How do you feel about Minnesota?
I just think their blocking is terrible, man. They're letting too many people get to Brett, and it's like, and I guess Brett is thinking like, well, if I throw it to the other team, they'll leave me alone. So I mean, no, the Vikings don't make the playoffs. Brett Favre, they'll probably do better with him having this ankle injury, but I wouldn't even leave us alone with all of this Brett Favre hype after the season is over with. Let that man retire, please, and thank you.
I feel the same way. I think that, like Donald said, I think it has a lot to do with the defensive line that they spend a lot of money on. They have 3.5 sacks, and Pat Williams has none of those. They're not getting pressure. The offensive line, like you said, are not blocking. The secondary is bang. They got Frank Walker as a starting cornerback, and they made it known. Green Bay's coach Mike McCarthy said that they're going to attack him at halftime. That's quite disrespectful. They didn't even get a hit on Aaron Rodgers at all. So Minnesota does not make the playoffs, even with the addition of Randy Moss. And I think by in the next 2 or 3 weeks, Brett Favre will be on the injury reserve list. I'm sorry, Brett. Like you said, please, let this be your last season. Sticking with the NFC, like I said, there's a lot of bad teams in the NFC. Gerard, who is the best team in the NFC right now?
Right now, I really can't answer that. I mean, the NFL is so wide open right now. I mean, you really don't have no more than 2 or 3 dominant teams that you can really talk about. Everybody is pretty much up in the air right now. I really can't name a best team right now.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers. No. I had to go with the Atlanta Falcons.
And tell me why.
Atlanta Falcons. First off, they play solid defense.
Okay.
They run the ball very well. Matt Ryan's playing great. And Roddy White, one of the top receivers in the league who nobody talks about.
Absolutely. He absolutely destroyed the Cincinnati Bengals. Are y'all listening, Bengal fans? Khalid Jones, Steve Saucer. I'm calling y'all out. I know y'all on Facebook. Go ahead.
That's about it. They run the ball. They control the time well.
I'm going to go ahead and go against the grain, and I'm going to go with the New York Football Giants. They're absolutely playing phenomenal football. They got the best pass rushing front four in football. They got UC Umenyiora with 8 sacks. They got Justin Tuck. They got the young man Pierre. They're playing just absolutely phenomenal football. They got Chris Cansey coming off the bench. They're getting great play. The secondary's looking good because they're getting the front four rush. And then offensively, they got the leading rusher in football, Amon Bradshaw, that nobody knew about. He has let me check my stats, 708 yards. He has more yards rushing than Adrian Peterson and Chris Johnson. So Eli Manning struggles at times. They got a young receiving core that's Mario Manningham. They have Steve Smith, and they have the Akeem Nicks that's looking outstanding. So they well-rounded. I know they got their butt handed to them by the Tennessee Titans, but I think that down the stretch when Eli Manning get the jitters out, I think they'll be a legitimate 12-4, maybe 11-5. They'll win their division. I think they had to get them interceptions out. I think that the New York Giants will be able to compete, and they may be the representative. They will be the representative of the NFC for the Super Bowl. So I think that's what's going to be hot. But we're going to go behind the number on a few things, and I want to throw for all our Facebook fans that's out here looking, and our YouTube fans and our Twitter fans, I'm going to throw out here a couple stats out here for our NFL guys that y'all may not know. We thinking about quarterback numbers. Everybody's like, okay, Peyton Manning's having another outstanding season, 13 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. He's the highest rated quarterback. I bet y'all. Can y'all guess who was the second rated quarterback in the league? Time's up. Ryan Fitzpatrick of the Buffalo Bills. And I bet you Buffalo is going to do a bonehead thing, and they're going to go and draft a quarterback when they can build around this young man. This young man needs to get an opportunity to play football. You know what I'm saying? So I think put some weapons around the guy, put an offensive line around the guy, and then coming third, we got Vince Young is third. Vince Young is third. How y'all feel about that?
I think Vince Young's been doing a pretty good job. He done had a couple bad games, but everybody has bad games. Really, I think what Tennessee really needs to do, I think they really need to interchange both of those quarterbacks depending on which teams they're playing. I don't think there should be a rule such as having just one quarterback play every game. Different quarterbacks can pick up different schemes, and I think if they buy into that, they'll win way more games.
That's a good point. Give me a wrap-up on you're a Tampa Bay fan. Give me a 20-second wrap-up on what you think Tampa Bay is going to do this week.
This week?
Mm-hmm.
Baltimore? We'll beat Baltimore. We'll beat Baltimore, the shocker.
Cincinnati. Y'all play this week? I guess
next question.
That sums it up. Well, I'm going to go ahead. We got a couple more minutes, but I'm going to give y'all behind the numbers. I like to do this at the end of the show to give y'all some helpful hints to show that we get behind our numbers on Against the Grain Sports. I'm your host, and also I'm the football analyst. The San Diego Chargers, which if y'all want to check the numbers, they have the #1 offense and also the #1 defense, but it's amazing. They're 2-5, tied for last in the West. What's going on, San Diego? We picked y'all to win the division. Y'all can't do it. Come on, y'all got all the talent in the world. Phillip Rivers, give him some relief. Give him a running game. Do something about it. It's Against the Grain Sports. I'm your host, Jody Coleman. We got Gerard McCain, Donald Coleman. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter. Check us out. Leave comments. We see y'all next week.
Peace.